Hey fellow foodies, it's Faye from faysfood.com, and today I'm going to bring you a great recipe for these lemon raspberry cheesecake squares. Okay, so I'm going to start with the crust first. I just have some very finely grinded up Oreos. You can use double stuff or classic, it doesn't really matter. And some melted butter is in here as well as a bit of sugar, not much. Just give this all a toss until it kind of comes together like wet sand. Okay, so that is ready to go. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour the crumbs into my prepared pan. You can see that it's just an 8 by 8 inch square pan. I did line it with aluminum. You can also line it with some parchment. The key here is we do spray it with some cooking spray, and we do want to make sure that there is a bit of overhang on the sides, so that will be easier to take out when the time isn't, when the time comes. Alright, so what you do is, you see I just used a measuring cup. You can also use your hands up to a certain point, but what you want to do is just flatten the crust as much as possible. You want it nice and even and flat, and then you can move on to the next step, which is just creaming together some cream cheese and some sour cream. Mix this for about 2 or 3 minutes on a medium speed. Now obviously the sour cream and cream cheese should be softened and at room temperature. So after a couple of minutes, you can go ahead and scrape down the bowl really well. Get the bottom and get the sides. And then dump in the sifted confectioner's sugar all at once. And we want to make sure we do this at the lowest speed possible. Mix it in. And as the sugar absorbs into the batter, you can go ahead and bump up the speed back to a medium speed. You want to mix this for about 5 minutes. Alright, I'm going to stop the mixer and I'm going to give this another good scraping. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the vanilla extract, as well as the lemon zest and lemon juice. You do want to make sure to wash the outsides of the lemons really well before you zest them. And obviously if you feel like it has a lot of seeds in it, you can juice it over a strainer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix these 2 ingredients in for just a couple of minutes. Right, and then you want to also make sure you beat some heavy cream up to a medium or stiff peak, and we're going to go ahead and pour that whipped cream into our batter just all at once. And really at this point we're done with the stand mixer or the hand mixer, whatever you're using. This recipe doesn't take a lot of prep work. I would say the only thing really you can prep is the crust as well as the raspberry sauce. You need to give that raspberry sauce some time to cool down, as well as you have to strain the seeds. So that's just the bit of prep work that is needed in this recipe. Other than that, you can see how easy it is. Okay, so obviously I took it off the stand mixer. By it I mean the bowl. And we're gonna go ahead and just fold in the whipped cream into the rest of the ingredients very gently here. We don't want to deflate any of this. Okay, and this is really a no-bake cheesecake. That's why it's so easy and it's so delicious. So it's the perfect spring recipe when you want something nice and light. This is what I go to. Okay, I'm gonna add some whole raspberries. You can use fresh or frozen. Either way, please make sure to kind of pat them dry as much as possible. We don't want any excess liquid if it's not needed. Okay, so you fold in the raspberries, and then you want to go ahead and pour the cheesecake mixture into your prepared pan, and you can see just from that image right there just how fluffy this is going to be. You want to go ahead and take an offset spatula and really get it as evenly spread out and flat as possible. Don't worry if a few of the Oreo crumbs come to the top. It's not a big deal. Okay, and now you can go ahead and pour the raspberry sauce on top of your cheesecake mixture. And here I would recommend that you kind of have a design in mind beforehand. I kind of go with a swirl initially, and then I decide to marble it, which caused it to be kind of muddled in the corners. So really just decide what you want to do beforehand and be decisive, unlike me. Yeah, because you can't overdo it. You can see how it's kind of muddled in the corners. Okay, so not a big deal. I'm the one eating it, but if you're serving this for guests, that's something to keep in mind, you know. Okay, so what you would do is cover it with some aluminum foil and refrigerate it overnight. If you want it a bit firmer, because this is a pretty soft cheesecake, you can go ahead and put it in the freezer overnight. Let it thaw for about 20 minutes and it will be much easier for you to cut because it won't be as soft, obviously. So once you take it out of the pan, which you can see how easy it was to take out of the pan because of the overhang, which is fabulous. You want to gently pull down the parchment or the aluminum down the sides, and then you can use a hot knife, which you can get it hot with either hot water or a blowtorch. Make sure you wipe in between with a clean rag, but you just cut in half twice, both horizontally and vertically. And those are our lemon raspberry cheesecake squares. Give this recipe a try. I'm sure you will love it. For the full recipe, go to faysfood.com. Like this video, comment below for any comments or questions, and subscribe to this channel for more great videos on the way. And until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.
Time for you to make a move. I've been trying to keep my cool. After all the shit you put me through, after all the shit you put me through.